Welcome back again. So now we have a general idea of what machine learning is and what is the process that we need to follow in machine learning. So here we need to understand that what kind of machine learning are there. So they are basically segregated into two types. Number one is supervised learning and number two is unsupervised machine learning. What is the difference between two of those? Before we deep dive into it, make sure we apparently understand the meaning of two words. So basically supervised, it's obvious from the name that we need to provide a kind of data, we want to supervise a kind of learning happening out there. And for unsupervised, it's more of like collectively done and segregation or maybe clustering of some kind of information that will be done with this, and that wouldn't be supervised. So if we just go right here and try to dive deep into the kind of, I would say, supervised machine learning. So here we are having the data. So this data is basically, I can say I've split that into the two of the data sets. Number one, the data measured primary data, and this one is the test data there. So we need both of the data out. And why I need both data is basically like this is the data or maybe predicting price of a car or maybe predicting price of a house. So what would happen is like from there the data would be like go into an algorithm that we have chosen for supervised machine learning. And here we need to provide a set of data that might be the different cars like Toyota or like Honda, maybe Audi, maybe Mercedes, any kind of car out there with their specifications, with their prices. So this is what's happening out there. And that data would be basically then go to supervised machine learning algorithm. That might be a regression algorithm or any kind of algorithm that we're having. Maybe let's consider we want to predict price, that would be linear regression. And once we are done with like algorithms, we would have a trained model. So trained model, we just train the data with this data set. But we need to test the trained model as well. For that, we have a test data set that we initially split from this. And we'll put in the trained model with the test data. And then we'll have the answer that we need to have. That might be the price we need to predict. That might be like color, or that might be behavior. That might be either we need to just go with this guy for insurance or not. That might be we should give a guy maybe a loan or not, and these kind of answers that you might get. But in the other case, what is unsupervised machine learning? Unsupervised machine learning is basically, I would say, more of like many of the people out there talking in a room, or maybe if I say that a lot of pictures in your library, and you want to make sure that they are segregated on the basis of maybe identity, maybe basis of like which images are bright, which are dull, which need to be processed, which need not to be processed. Maybe this kind of VN analysis you want to do. So imagine there is data, and what unsupervised learning would do is cluster the data. And there would be whole different clusters out there that would be done. And for that, we need to use some unsupervised machine learning algorithms. So all in all, there are basically two types of machine learning happening nowadays: supervised and unsupervised. In supervised, you need to get the data set, you need to train the model, you need to test the model. For that, you need to test data set, and after that, you have the answer. Unsupervised goes for most of the experiments or maybe most of the scenarios where you might need to cluster the data. You want to segregate the data sets. You want to make sure that things or maybe objects are classified accordingly. And you need those classification out of maybe a very dispersed kind of data sets. There you use unsupervised machine learning. So these are basic to concept. In the next video, we'll talk more about machine learning. Till then, see you.